Do you believe in ghosts and spirits and energy? I have people always ask me that, so I don't get this, Pixie. How can there be ghosts and how can there be spirits? How can there be aliens? How can there be all of these things? It's very simple. It all comes down to energy. So while we are alive on this earth, our bodies are maintained through a process of homeostasis, which that simply means that all of our processes and cells are working in harmony. However, our soul is different because our soul doesn't get sick. Our soul lives in our body, but when our body is gone, our soul continues on. And I think the most interesting thing about our soul is it doesn't sleep. When we go to sleep, our soul is still awake and still processing and feeling and moving. So I want you to think about your soul like a fish, because most fish don't sleep. They do go into this process where they lower their body movement, temperature, in order to stay alive, but they constantly are moving, except for some fish that bury themselves in the mud. But it kind of sounds like people, huh? Even in our dreams, we're moving. In our sleep, we're moving. And there are some people that do just dig down and hang out in the murk. But for the most part, our soul is constantly moving, constantly in flow. And that means that even when our bodies are gone, our soul is still moving. And so it doesn't mean there's not a heaven. It doesn't mean there isn't a paradise. It doesn't mean that there's not a next step after your soul. All that means is that energy still exists. And the cool thing about energy is it's very fluid. Unlike our human bodies where we have to constraints of things around us, the soul can be both here and there, in this time and in another time. And it's amazing. And because their energy, their frequency, there's a way to communicate. And that's where my gift and my joy comes from. I'm able to communicate with souls and spirits. You say, well, what's the difference? Really, it's just semantics. Ghosts, souls, spirits, they're all one and the same. And that's just energy. That is energy that's not connected to a physical form. It's pretty simple. Think about it. Animals can see spirits. They can sense them. And why is that? It's because they don't have all that clutter and muck surrounding it, preconceived ideas and judgment about what is normal and what is abnormal. So today, if you have questions about spirits or angels or guides, reach out to me. I'll be happy to share my knowledge and maybe some mediumship. Well, I'm Nancy. I am from Pixie Science, and I'm sending you much love, light, and aloha. And always some pixie dust. Mahalo.